Everything else, I'll be purchasing this just like you. Because if you want to go play tournaments and you want to go to stuff, you need this book. So, Warzone Nephilim, the biggest change we have in this is that we have a huge update to command points. We've all seen it, we've all had it, we have different opinions on it, but basically the gist of it is that they've been cut in half, which goes from 12 to 6. And instead of gaining 1 per turn, you now gain 2 per turn. You gain 1 during your battle round and your opponent's battle round. This adds up to being that you actually end up with 1 less command point overall than what was before. The old days you had 5 plus 12, which would be 17. And this one now we have 6 plus 12, which is 6 plus 10, which is 16. So it is 1 less command point. The idea was that we're going to try to they're trying to remove the initial big dump of CP into doing something crazy turn 1 and causing the game to either not succeed beyond that because you've been so devastated, or you fail this whole dump of command points. So we'll see how good it is. I'm okay with it. There's another kind of wrinkle in all this is that you no longer get free warlord traits or relics. They cost 1 CP each to get 1 relic and then 1 warlord trait is 1 CP to kind of get that beforehand when we got them for free. So again, it feels like a kind of another hit to your CP pool. I don't know if that is the best one. That's the one that kind of is everyone arguing about. I'm fine with it because overall it's trying to knock down CP usage in the initial turns, but it does hurt a lot of armies and it does make things where you can't do nearly as much interesting stuff. I do expect to see a lot of armies just go ahead and start the game with 0 CP because they need to burn all their stuff to create their list from before, which is a stacked warlord trait, stacked relics, or stacked kind of setup on it, which I think is just what's going to happen. I mean, I know for my Chaos Knights, I'm probably starting at 0 or 1 CP just because that's what I'm going to do, just to make sure I have everything kind of working the same, everything else on there. It does hit a lot of the reroll CP or anything else you don't want to use that stuff anymore. So I expect those other armies that have either free rerolls or free abilities to change stuff like Strands of Fate from Eldar or Faith from Sister Battle become extremely powerful because they're one of the few ones that either can guarantee rolls or guarantee things without having to burn a CP. So this is important from a match play perspective because this book, 1, gives you all the rules to play match play with all the missions. They reprint or refix and tweak all the secondaries, which is huge. So now instead of having to say you either have to get another book or get an FQ update, it's all here. At the same time, too, they put all the rules in the back. Thankfully, that's one of the better things because I end up having one of the smaller rule books, but having it re-put in there with all my missions, all my stuff for match play is going to be a lot handy because I'll just take this and most likely with just my codex. Again, that it also seems to be the same thing too with this drop in CP as well, is that they want you to have less stuff in general. You're not taking a whole bunch of different kind of detachments or things on there because you have limits on it. So that's going to be a very important factor, and I kind of see this in the design aspects here, is that we want to try to simplify some of the bloat, simplify some of this extra stuff in the game that maybe we can make a little better. Especially with the secondaries, most of the ones that either were too good, have been tweaked, or are just gone now. Stranglehold is gone. I know I took it all the time because it was one of those objectives that you, the player, controlled all the time. Since you scored at the end of your player turn, you knew that you could get it. Which is a non-interactive factor when it really didn't care about your opponent at all. So it makes for a very uninteractive secondary. And so some armies, it was so easy for them that they could set up with this one and another one that they got rid of. And it's like, hey, I'm guaranteeing 25 plus points every game. And that's a huge thing to kind of get passed around when you're already good at getting the primary. The other one that dropped out was To the Last. Probably one of the more frustrating ones because you had certain armies that just did not care. To the Last was supposed to be objective to you pick it because either you had super tough units or you had units that needed to hide away. And it's kind of like if I hid these units that didn't interact with it, that means I wasn't using them to kill your stuff. but there's been a batch of armies that could still kill your stuff and you still couldn't kill them back. And so removing this, again, another huge non-interactive secondary, is very, I think, important. I think this is one of the ones that I've always thought was a pretty terrible one. I didn't think it was, it just wasn't a fun one. You know, I'm keeping from either I'm going to make sure that I have a units that interact with you, or I have a special set of rules that means they'll never interact with me. And I think the biggest culprit to all this was the Swooping Hawks from Eldar with the Phoenix Lord, who, as you know, they come down, they shoot you, and they go away. So you can never do anything against them, and it's just not exciting, not very fun. But overall, I mean, this is going to be probably the most important release for your if you're planning to play match play, bar your codex getting a new codex. That's really kind of where this book kind of sits on there, because you'll most likely need, because again, it has all your secondaries, it has everything else in there, and it has rules, and the missions got tweaked. I think I'm kind of sad that there's no spiral ring bound on it, and I'll probably do it to mine just because it makes life a lot easier for me. But you know, that's kind of why as much as everything else, I'll be purchasing this just like you, because if you want to go play tournaments and you want to go to stuff, you need this book. Is this worth it as a purchase? Yes, because I'm a match play player and I already know that I'm going to have this book. It does give you the rules. It does give you a lot of stuff on there. So I think it's expensive and a little bit on there that you kind of like have them buy this book. It does give you a lot, and I think it kind of covers a lot of holes that we currently have with some of the match play options. Since it's all in one nice small little book that I wish was spiral bound. Hey, click on any of these links for some more 40K nonsense. I'm Goatboy from Bowls. Thanks for watching.